Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Miss Nina as a lecturer of extensive listening. My name is Imdatul Sharifah. I'm from TBI 1 and my student number is 221101060027. Here I will do the assignment of final exam in extensive listening course. The title is Social Media and Teenagers Health. And I put the link on this. The Listening Research is a 6-minute English video podcast on the BBC Learning English YouTube channel that talks about social media and teenagers' health. This podcast talk about the impact of social media on teenagers and parents concerned. I choose this podcast on social media and teens because it addresses a topic that is very relevant to me as a teenager. Social media has become an integral part of teenagers' life, impacting their mental health, social interaction, and overall well-being. This podcast provides valuable insight into the addictive nature of social media, its potential consequence, and the ongoing effort to regulate it, offering a well-rounded discussion on a subject that directly affects the daily lives of teens. The 6-minute English podcast discusses the impact of social media on teenagers, emphasizing its addictive nature and potential negative effect on mental health. Studies show a link between excessive social media use and increased risk of depression and anxiety among adolescents. The podcast mentioned ongoing effort in the US to regulate social media apps for teenagers and suggests similar action in the UK. The podcast highlights the challenge parents face in addressing social media addiction and the responsibility placed on them to find solutions. A quiz question reveals that 90% of 13 to 24 years old use Snapchat. As a teenager, the podcast is very relevant to my daily life. This podcast highlights the challenge associated with a voice of social media, including its potential impact on mental health, understanding the concern expressed by health expert, and the effort to regulate social media use for teens allows me to make informed discussion about my own online habits. The podcast also highlights the responsibility placed on parents to address social media addiction, and I was able to gain a deeper understanding of the challenges posed by social media and develop strategies to maintain a healthy balance between online and offline activities. It serves as a valuable tool for self-reflection and raise awareness of the importance of responsible social media use in my daily life as teenagers. Listening to the 6 minutes English podcast helped improve my listening skills extensively through exposure to authentic conversation, current content, vocabulary expansion, increased listening speed, and exposure to various accents. Overcoming challenges involve target strategies such as vocabulary reinforcement, adjusting to the speed of speech, understanding nuance, maintaining consent practice, and applying lesson to real life situation. My strategies from problem solving in listening to this podcast, such as involving open communication, vocabulary reinforcement, for collaborative problem solving, intentional behavior change, staying informed, and seeking guidance from trusted adults. I think this approach aims to address the challenges highlighted in the podcast and contribute to a healthier relationship with social media. Just all for me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.